I don't mean to scare you, but we haven't much time. It's not wise to keep them waiting. They'll be very interested in someone new,
It's a window on the other side. They come every night.
and they watch us.
What is that? What are they doing?
Applause. For you, mean it.
So, first feature, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I'm nervous. I'm excited. Yeah.
So, what was it that drew you to adapting the book into a film?
It was, I was kind of on a journey of like searching for that story that felt like a kind of unending well of visual opportunity, something that I was just excited to play with, and that very much came in the form of this book. I just sort of read it without any context and just like fell completely in love with it. I thought that sort of, intersection of fantasy and horror is exactly what I would hope I can be doing. So it just felt like kind of divine timing in that way.
And then you previously worked on Servant. What was it like going from sort of a long form format to the shorter form? Because realistically, even though it's a feature film, it is shorter.
Yes, yeah. I mean, I think the kind of start and stop of the episodic form allowed me to really kind of treat that process as like a marathon where I was sort of one after the other, kind of like writing episodes, directing episodes, but it was much less like you could kind of forget about that idea of the prior episode once you moved on to the next one. So this kind of like the feature form for me is really was different because it takes a kind of commitment to one idea that's really like drawn out and expanded. And I think it really, it became like a person in my life, I think, in that way that TV didn't before.
And I spoke to Dakota.
Yeah.
You guys shot in an actual forest.
Yes, we did.
What went into the decision to do on-site versus like a stage? And what was that like?
It's funny. I think for me, my instinct is always I just prefer being in a literal space. We did have some incredible builds in this movie, but the forest itself, I felt that it would just be really difficult to create this sense of this like endless environment if we did it on a stage. So I wanted something that like actually felt quite mysterious and quite wondrous and like somewhere kind of unearthly. So we happened to sort of stumble across this place like very close to the end of our scout, and it just had that weirdness and that kind of otherworldly essence to it.
And then actually filming on site, what was that like? What challenges did you run into?
It was interesting. It was such a, I think, kind of being in nature, you're just like at the mercy of whatever the world wants to do. So that's kind of cool because you kind of have to stop for rain at moments and wait for your right lighting. And then obviously like getting equipment up there and kind of creating, even building a dolly track in an environment where everything is so uneven and there's trees everywhere becomes quite difficult. But I think that allowed us to really like focus in and be intentional about what we wanted to get.
And then for the design of the Watchers, how much of the description came from the book and how much of it was like you playing around?
He, in the book, A.M. kind of kept them somewhat ambiguous, kind of like until this particular moment in which he described them kind of in great detail. And so I just wanted to sort of like replicate that feeling that sort of throughout the whole movie, even when you do see them, that you're still not really allowed to see them. So that there's kind of things being kept from you at all times. And it was very much for me about like what I felt was scary and just like the kind of images that I see in the world or that I see in my like dreams that feel scary to me and sort of putting that all together.